All right, we're embarking on the journey once again. Another toasty day in Los Angeles. Low 40s humidity looks like. And we'll play a bit. Things are a little different today, playing the same pipes, but I had to put a medium bag back on. I was playing an extended small Canmore hybrid. Now it's a medium hybrid Canmore. And I have put the moisture control back in. So I have the moose valve. I have a tube trap with the filter at the end, and I have the drone filters made by Highland Reeds, balance tone drying cartridges, bananas, some call them, and we'll see how it goes today. So a little more playing, we'll see what happens. Phew! Well, that was about, I think, 49 minutes of playing there. Chanter never stopped, just trying to. I wouldn't obviously do that warming up because I would be like I am now and pretty bagged out. But I just wanted to give it like no changes, just blowing the whole time, never stopping for a good chunk of time to see what happens. I haven't looked at the data yet. We'll see. Definitely got a little hotter today, but it was a little hotter in here. I could use a dehumidifier for me, frankly. Woo! A little damp after all that. But I thought the pipe sounded pretty nice. I never really got the chainer fully in tune. I didn't start with it fully in tune, but uh, just wanted to play and see what was happening. So still sounded pretty good by the end. Sounded pretty good by the beginning. But anyway, uh, we'll see what the data says, and then maybe we'll know more. Who knows? And there's our reed seat. No moisture buildup. But we'll see what the moisture was in the bag. There's our outside tenor. No moisture on there at all. All right, so what are the numbers telling us? So today started out at 83 Fahrenheit or 28.3 Celsius and finished at 90.2 Fahrenheit or 32.3 Celsius. And that meant that the total change over 49 minutes of playing was 7.2 degrees Fahrenheit or 4 degrees Celsius. 92% of that change happened in the first 15 minutes, only 8% in the last section. Now, comparing that with August 21st, we started at a cooler temperature, 73.3 Fahrenheit or 92.9 centigrade, and it went up a total of 9.1 Fahrenheit or 5 degrees Celsius. So that is a little bigger change, but we did start at a lower temperature, and my internal temperature certainly wasn't much different. Now, when it comes to humidity, today we started at 44.8% and finished at 77.2%. So that's a 32.4% total change in the humidity. By 7 minutes in, 80% of that change had already happened. By the 15-minute mark, when the heat had pretty much stabilized, we were at 93% of the total change in humidity. And for the last many minutes, it really only went up 7% over that time. So again, by 15 minutes, we can probably feel pretty sure that we're pretty stabilized. Now, when we compare the data from August 21st to today's data, we can see that with the moisture control, the moisture content curve is much smoother this time than it was last time. Still reached about the same percentage change, so it didn't really change how long it took or how much moisture got into the bag, but it did change how smoothly that moisture was delivered, and it also kept the reeds certainly a lot drier. Now, I don't want to draw any conclusions about that. I have my own ideas about why that might be. Certainly, I know that the moisture control that is in the drones themselves, the Highland Reeds moisture control system, the Bananas, is keeping a lot of the moisture out of the drones, away from the drone reeds. It's cooling the air down before it gets in there, so there's not as much condensation. But other than that, I don't really want to draw conclusions. These videos that I'm doing are more about providing data so that we can all look at it and come to our own conclusions and maybe learn a little bit more about what's going on inside that bag. Now, I will say the conclusions that I can draw from this are that within 15 minutes of constant playing, really, you're over 90% of the change that's going to happen has taken place. After that point, it's really pretty smooth, not a lot of change. So certainly if you're trying to get your pipes warmed up before you play a long piece, a Pibroch, a long MSR, or a recital or something, within 15 minutes your pipes are going to be pretty stabilized. I will say I'm going to have to try this again in colder conditions. But we don't have any cold weather here right now. So later on in the year, when it does cool down a bit, I'll certainly do some more of this. I could go outside and stand in the sun and play and see what that does, but I don't particularly want to do that. But let me know what you think. I'm curious what your thoughts are on this stuff. It's interesting to me to see what the temperature and humidity seems to actually be in there. I will say, if you looked at the 3 different moisture control or moisture gauges that I had at the beginning of this video, you can see that none of them were exactly the same. And I'm not using really high-end products that really are extremely precise. So this is not a super scientific experiment, but it's giving us an idea of what's going on, and we can see basically what the humidity and temperature are inside the bag with some playing and how that relates to what the temperature is on the outside. So thanks, stay tuned, more to come.